watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Now, the latest news is a couple days ago, Javier Fortuna, he called out Mikey Garcia. He said, I'll fight you anywhere, any place, anytime. He said, a lot of people who knock down, Mikey Garcia, he's been knocked down a lot, and the people who knock him down, for whatever reason, it seems like when he gets back up, they're afraid of him. Javier Fortuna said that if I knock him down, I will make sure he doesn't get back up. Basically, he's saying he would finish the job if he hurts him. But this is the big question, though. Will Mikey Garcia step up and take the challenge? We just seen what Mikey Garcia pulled against Gamboa. Mikey Garcia, he completely avoided and ducked Mikey Garcia. When Mikey Garcia ducked and avoided Yuriorkis Gamboa, then he tried to pick an easier opponent to fight on HBO, and HBO said, no. We wanted you to fight Gamboa. You ain't gonna fight on HBO with this hand-picked opponent that no one knows, that you know is gonna be another easy fight. No, you're gonna fight somebody that's on the level of a Gamboa. This is what HBO was telling Mikey Garcia. Okay? So now he finally, slithered and wiggled his way out of Gamboa negotiations. He avoided door number 1. He opens up door number 2. And who's there? Javier Fortuna. Eventually, Mikey Garcia, he gonna have to walk through one of these doors. Okay? Listen, man, I'm really getting fed up with the double standards that exist in this sport and are usually coming from the decafs, the dumb, casual-ass fans. Because we all know the case. We all know the situation. It is okay for Mikey Garcia to duck every single fighter there is. And these fans, these decafs, they're still going to praise this man. They're still going to praise him. They're still going to talk about, nobody can beat him. Mikey Garcia can openly say, hey, I'm not fighting no damn Gamboa. I don't want to fight him. I'm not fighting Javier Fortuna. I don't want to fight him. And you know what the decaf's going to say? They're going to sit over here and they're going to say, it doesn't matter because he'll beat them all anyway. So he doesn't even have to fight them. He ain't got to prove nothing because we already know that he would beat them any damn way. Right? This is the ridiculous double standards that exist. But yet, soon as Gary Russell wants to step up and fight for a title against Johnny Gonzalez, these same decafs, they want to deny him. Oh, he doesn't deserve to fight for a title. He doesn't deserve to fight for a title. But when he wasn't fighting nobody, then they wanted to say, oh, yeah, Mr. TBA, always fighting against nobodies and so on and so forth. As soon as he ready to step up and fight against a fighter that the decafs don't want him to beat, now all of a sudden Gary Russell is not ready to fight for a title. Do you guys see the hypocrisy? 1 minute you guys are saying Gary Russell, he needs to step up. He's only fighting TBAs. Now once Gary Russell is fighting for a title, you guys say he's not ready. You guys cannot have it both ways. Okay? But once again, you guys go ahead and give Mikey Garcia a pass. Now, we already know if it was Gary Russell that was in Mikey Garcia's shoes and he was turning down a Gamboa fight, if he was turning down a Javier Fortuna fight and so many other fights, you guys will be calling him the biggest coward in the sport of boxing. And we know this to be the case because we see the double standards every day in the sport, don't we? I mean, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. You cannot win for losing when you are not the fans' favorite. Okay? Like I said, if you got somebody like Guillermo Rigo calling out everyone, then the fans want to say, oh, well, he's too boring. He doesn't get credit for wanting to fight the best, right? But then they choose who they want to call a coward. If they want to call Floyd Mayweather a coward, he's just a coward. He's chicken. He's scary. He's this. Oh, no, but leave Mikey Garcia alone because that's our guy. You know what I mean? Don't mess with him. Let's find someone else we don't like to call a coward, to call this, to call that, right? It's okay for Juan Marquez to avoid Ruslan Provodnikov because they're going to come up with a million different excuses, right? But then when it's someone they don't like, that fighter, he could be fighting the best fighter in the division, and they're still going to find ways to discredit him. We know what time it is. So the bottom point is, or the bottom line is, Mikey Garcia, he needs to step his damn game up. All right? This is getting ridiculous. I understand Mikey Garcia. He's having disputes right now with Bob Arum and Top Rank. But we already know, no matter what type of altercations or what type of problems they're having right now, we know that eventually that shit is going to get resolved. He's going to have to fight eventually. We already know this to be the case. So I don't want to hear the excuses that, oh, well, Mikey Garcia, he's going, through the motions right now with Top Rank and so on and so forth. I already understand that. This doesn't mean that Mikey Garcia is going to retire. We already know that Mikey Garcia is going to continue to fight. When he decides to get back into training and signs a contract to fight somebody, is he going to step his damn game up and fight a Javier Fortuna? Is he going to step his game up and fight someone on that level? And guys, I want you to understand something. By no means am I telling you guys that Javier Fortuna, he walks in there and he just beats the shit out of Mikey Garcia. This is a very even match fight. Matter of fact, Mikey Garcia, he has a very good chance of beating Javier Fortuna. But the point that I'm making is you need to step your ass in the ring and step your game up, okay? Avoiding Yoriokas Gamboa, trying to fight some no-name fighter that HBO did not approve. Now you got Javier Fortuna, who's been dominating his part of the division for quite some time, right? Now you got him calling you out. What are you going to do, Mikey? What are you going to do? I think the protection of Mikey Garcia, it has a lot to do with his big brother, too. I think Robert Garcia, he has flashbacks of his career. And he says to himself, I don't want my younger brother to make the same mistakes that I made. And those mistakes were getting in the ring with undefeated tough fighters that could possibly knock your ass out. Because that's what happened to Robert Garcia, right? Robert Garcia, when he was undefeated, matter of fact, Robert Garcia, he became the junior lightweight champion the exact same year that Floyd Mayweather became the junior lightweight champion, okay? And Robert Garcia probably being undefeated, because that does, it does that to a lot of fighters. It makes you feel that you're invincible. Mikey Garcia, he went in there taking on the #1 contender, Corrales. Robert Garcia, he started off doing really well, but eventually, Diego Corrales, with the type of chin that he had, he walked through every single combination that Robert Garcia threw, and eventually, he knocked Robert Garcia the fuck out, okay? And I truly believe that Garcia, Robert Garcia that is, he's reminiscing. He's looking back, and he's saying, I don't want my brother to go through what I went through. So let's avoid undefeated tough fighters. Let's try to put my brother on the track to where he does not risk being knocked out young in his career. Because that's, what happened to Robert Garcia. Before Robert Garcia could hit the big time and become the next big thing, next thing you know, he was getting knocked out by Corrales. And his career pretty much went downhill from that point on. So I think this has something to do with the reluctance of Team Garcia taking the best challenges available. Javier Fortuna, Yoriokas Gamboa. But we all know how boxing works. You can run and you can hide for so long, but you can't do it forever. You cannot do it forever. And eventually, you are going to be forced to step your game up. Okay? And stepping your game up means eventually having to fight some type of Fortuna, some type of Gamboa, some type of Gary Russell Jr., some type of tough opponent, Terrence Crawford, that's going to be on an even playing field with you and have a very good chance of dethroning you. I notice, once again, the double standards are very, very apparent and visible. See, the decafs, they are very happy to see their favorite fighters maybe just get one decent win. One decent win or one big win, right? Now, from that point on, they don't care anymore if their favorite fighters fights any other competition. You will never hear the decaf saying, I want to see my guy against this guy, that guy. No, they don't care. Once again, when Nonito Donaire was pound for pound or considered pound for pound top 3, who was he fighting once he became, pound for pound? He was fighting guys like Narvaez, Guys coming off of knockout losses like Vasquez. Old-ass guys who coming off of, multiple losses like Jorge Arce. These are the type of fighters that he was facing, and no one ever called him a cherry picker. No one ever said he's a coward, he's this, the type of shit that we always hear them say about Floyd Mayweather. No one ever said this stuff about Nonito Donaire. No one ever really said this stuff about Mikey Garcia. And when I say no one, I'm talking about the decafs. Okay? None of them had a problem with him not fighting anyone. Why? Because they are complacent. I just wish that people could just start telling the truth, just start being honest, just saying, look, I'm not rooting for that guy, I'm against that guy, and just leave it at that. Why do people always have to make it seem like they are actually talking boxing when it has nothing to do with boxing? It has everything to do with an emotional attachment towards the person you either love or the person you either hate. But once again, people will respect you type of fans more if you just flat out come out and say, I hate that guy. I want him to lose. I can't wait to see him lose one day. I hate that guy, but oh, I like this guy right here. I like him for whatever reason. I don't like that guy. And just be straight up about it. Stop making it sound like you're talking boxing. Okay? So hopefully, Mikey Garcia, I know he's going to step up eventually. But the big question is when. The big question is when. Because I think Mikey Garcia or Team Garcia, they really thought when they turned down Gamboa and they decided to fight some no-name fighter and tried to bring that fighter to HBO just to have HBO shut the door in their face and be like, you better come back with some damn fighter that we all know. You better get in the ring with somebody who poses a threat. I think when Team Garcia seen that, they were actually surprised because they thought that they had this game down pat. They thought that they understood how to avoid, competition and just continue to fight on HBO and build up a career without really stepping up to that next level. I give Mikey Garcia credit. He did step up when he fought against Orlando Salido. Okay? He fought some other decent fighters, but the best fighter he fought was Orlando Salido. We already know Juan Lopez was a little bit past his prime, but the Orlando Salido fight, that was his best win, but unfortunately, even that fight ended prematurely. Okay? That fight ended prematurely, and it had a lot to do with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, he ended up getting a broken nose in the fight, and because he knew he was up on the scorecards, he decided to quit. Okay? He decided to quit. That is not the mark of a champion. Word to Rudy Hernandez, who said that he personally thought that, it made Mikey Garcia look bad to quit like that because that's not something that champions do. So even in Mikey Garcia's best win, there's still a big question mark when it comes to is he for real? Because how the fight ended. All right? Mikey Garcia needs to go in there. This is the perfect time. Now, I will say this. I'm hearing that, Mikey Garcia, he is getting more of the pressure. He's getting more of the pressure. Understand something, guys. Pressure does bust pipes. And that's what happened with the Canelo versus Lara situation. Canelo did not want to fight Lara at all. But the pressure got to him. Eventually, his fans even started to question his heart. And that's when Canelo said, I can't take it. I can't take my own fans. Because he was convincing himself that, oh, yeah, that's just Cubans saying that. That's just Cubans, whatever that, that's just people hating. But once Lara jumped on that stage and he called him out, and then the Mexican fans started to call Canelo a coward, that's when he said, let me step my game up. So let's see if Mikey Garcia steps his game up, okay? But I guess it's not really if, but maybe when, all right? So that's pretty much all I got, guys. I'm on to the next one.